All right, what's up, guys? It's Frank here with the TANC Season 2 Finals bracket. We've got msrm, our Blue Infernal player, and Snoxtar, our Red Infernal player, both going for the... We've got Conclave first out of... Yeah, both, and they're both building it on Shroud, so no early expansions this time around. And we'll see what happens here. It looks like msrm was trying to cheese out the... Or he's in the process of cheesing out the Shadow Mastiffs. Snoxtar spent a little time getting across the map to go see what was going on, but it looks like not much is happening. This one imp, oh interesting. I thought for sure it was going to be a meat farm for something else, but I think what this is going to end up being is a meat farm here, shrine down here, and then that might just be a defensive... Oh, it might be a defensive meat farm to ward off any kind of Harbinger shenanigans in case a Harbinger shows up with a Gaunt drop. Speaking of Gaunts, we do have Snoxtar's 2 Gaunts and single Hexen over here taking on this camp of slimes. We didn't see the distribution. Oh man, Hexen's taking a bit of a beating. Skull vanishes there even after the creep died. I think that is a bug. But anyway, doesn't matter that the Hexen took a couple of hits there. He's just going to chill inside of the health camp and regenerate it a little bit. Also, I've noticed that some players will split their Gaunts so that the Gaunts are on the far side of either slime. So, okay. All right, yeah, not even a question that he's going to get this camp. Way easier for him to take. Meanwhile, msrm has a bunch of fiends, but not so much of brutes. But again, there's already enough firepower here. Takes it without losing anything at all. Even all the fiends stay up and running. While Snoxtar's taking his vision camp. Oh, I think the fiends could have gone for an attempt at a last hit there. Little preemptive Skull of Shadow coming out here. Did he get it? Oh, he did get... Well, he infested it anyway. I don't know if he actually got the last hit. He might have. He might have gotten the last hit on that. I don't think Snoxtar got the rewards. Anyway, msrm's going to go back home. They're both going to go back home. msrm doesn't really want the vision itself, and I don't blame him. He's going for his expansion. He's got more important things to worry about than getting out on the map right now, especially with imps being in that kind of vulnerable position from this ramp right here, as well as from the forests that he's just now knocking down. Well, I was about to say that he wants to play a little bit more defensively. We do see a Skull Shadow come out, and it lands on a Gaunt. That Gaunt does retreat, so it doesn't get turned into an enemy fiend. But on Snoxtar's way out, he does aggro the Shadow Demons, but he's going to stick around, just let the Shadow Demons do their damage, and then maybe jump on msrm's army once it's been weakened a little bit. Again, I think it's msrm that got the reward for that one. And yeah, it almost looks like... Yeah, both sides have the exact same camps from the exact same location. I don't think that they have the same saturation. Looks like msrm's got a little bit more on his natural expansion. But that's fine. Okay, so he's got a couple of fiends going into the Therium line there. But the fiends are pretty low. I don't think they'll win this fight. These 3 against 2. Oh, and those 2 fiends run over to get the... Oh, maybe he will win this one. They stop by to get the speed camp. But the fiend's cleaned up. Just a fiend, not a big deal. msrm going for his passive Illuminate. No surprises there. He should micro that. Oh, the brute doesn't die. Good for him. Alright. And... So Snoxtar starts his 3rd, only slightly earlier than msrm. But it looks like both players are going to want to go into the late game here and really start, they're really going to eco up and get a lot more of these sophisticated units. Speaking of, let's see what kind of tech units they've got here. Ritual Chamber getting Plague Axes, which is too good not to get. The Ritual Chamber's not even done for MSRM yet, though. That's. I wonder if he was just spending a lot more money on his army, or what. But it'll also be really nice to get Plague Axes online for both of these players, so that way the Hexen doesn't become as valuable, or it doesn't become as much of a loss when it finally does go down. Ritual Chamber for MSRM does finish, and immediately he starts the Plague Axes, so he won't be too far behind. He's still going to be slightly far behind, but yeah. I think Snoxtar wants to do some cheeky things with the Fiends here. And I really think there's a bit of a missed opportunity where a lot of players should be putting down either Static D or putting down something to hold the camps that they've got. Because, all right, is the Vision Camp that important? Maybe not, but defending your passive Luminite camp is pretty important, I'd say. So, I totally get that you can't just like leave army units around to fight off Fiends, but you can't just be giving up these camps either. It's, you know, the resources are pretty finite on a small map like Broken Crown. Now, that being said, we don't see people mine out this camp all that much, but you know, every little bit of Luminite does help. Hellforge going down in Snoxtar's third, excuse me. He's got a cheeky little run by over here with a bunch of different Fiends, but 2 Gaunts should be able to clean it up. Yeah, 2 Gaunts clean it up. Easy peasy. The Fiend pops out there. We are seeing some more production structures, and I'm loving how many meat farms are around this the natural here for MSRM. But yeah, we don't see anything kind of hinting at higher tech units coming out just yet from MSRM. It's just the Ritual Chamber. And I don't know that there's no Weavers just yet. But the health camps do reset, and both players get the health camps at the exact same time. Snoxtar immediately going for his fourth, and MSRM is perfectly mirroring him. So yeah, 7 minutes 45 seconds of almost perfect mirrors from these two, economically wise anyway. But the Sim City is much more interesting, I think, for Snoxtar. He's got he's getting the Fiend upgrade for his Brutes, which will be really nice, I think. Here we go. So it gives Brutes armor, and they get an extra Fiend when they pop, or when they Sunder Soul. Excuse me. So that's the manual split. I wonder if this is just... So yeah, this is just Gaunt Wars at this point. I wonder... Yeah, a lot of Gaunts, a lot of Gaunts. See the brain emoji go down over here at the Luminite camp, which kind of tips off Snoxtar as to what's going on, but it doesn't really matter because he can see, you know, you get an announcement in game. It's like your capture points being contested. So not going to see a whole lot there. Looks like the Gaunts are fully upgraded, but the Brutes are not going to be as useful as these Brutes, which are about to get Soulforge Ascendants soon, right? Any minute now. There we go. 5 Fiends making their way in. They do scout out the Hellforge. Oh, but that manual split from the Brutes is just going to be too much. Oh, and he split them just a little bit too early. If he had split them a couple seconds later, he would have gotten an extra Fiend out of each one of them. Finally, we're going to see the two armies moving towards one another. A Fiend goes down, and now it's just Gaunt Wars. Oh, big connection on this Nightfall Infestation here from Snoxtar. And now we see a Magadon stomping on forward, doing a lot of damage to the frontline units, but the Hellborn from Snoxtar in the back getting great connections with the AoE. It's hard to say who's got the advantage here. I want to say it's MSRM, that all that tank at the front line there with the Magadon is pretty huge. And I think if the the Gaunts get close enough to this Hellborn. Yeah, there it is. All those Gaunts from the north collapse onto the Hellborn as well, and they just focus it down real quick. Superstone goes down outside of the third for Snoxtar, and we'll see if he's going to be able to hold off much. It's 60 seconds that it has that buff, but yeah, the Gaunts are going to focus it down immediately, and then they're going to just have a solid position here. Oh, and a beautiful concave to include the units from the low ground firing up. They're just going to get fantastic DPS density, and Snoxtar is down by almost 70 army supply now. Magmadon getting great connections there with the stomp moving forward, and Snoxtar GG's. msrm is going to go up 1-0 in this best of 5. All right, on to the next game. msrm versus Snoxtar. Where's game 2? Where's game 3? There it is. Jumping right into it. Wow, Delaris, you're really not going to let that go, are you? Hey, C. Clempe, we can couchcast. Actually, let me run through this series real quick, and then we'll do some couchcasted games. If you guys want to hop into the Discord, we can do that. But let's set up the old. Set up all this. Okay.